Chosen one. If you are reading or hearing this message right now, understand that this is not random, this is not coincidence, and this is not just another set of words. This is a divine message aligned specifically for your soul, because not everyone is meant to receive this message at this moment in time. You have been chosen because of what you have endured in silence, the battles you fought, when no one was watching, the strength you showed, when you felt completely broken inside, you kept moving forward. Even when you had every reason to stop, and the universe has been observing every step, every tear, every unanswered prayer, and every moment you questioned your own worth. God says, I have seen it all. Nothing went unnoticed, nothing was ignored, and nothing was wasted. The delays you experienced were not punishments, they were preparation. The closed doors were not rejections, they were protection. I was redirecting you away from paths that would have limited your growth, even though you did not understand it at the time. You thought you were being held back, but in reality, you were being positioned for something greater, something deeper, something permanent. You have reached a turning point in your life where old cycles must end and new energy must enter. You cannot carry yesterday's pain into tomorrow's blessing. You must release what hurt you to make room for what is destined for you right now. The universe is rearranging itself in your favor, even if it does not look like it yet behind thee. Scenes, things are shifting, conversations are happening, opportunities are aligning, and doors you never expected are beginning to unlock. Your job is not to force anything. Your job is to trust the process and stay aligned with your purpose. You were never meant to live a small life. You were never meant to settle for less than what your soul desires. The doubts you feel are not signs of weakness. They are signs that you are stepping beyond your comfort zone, and growth always begins where comfort ends. Remember this. You are stronger than the fear trying to stop you. You are wiser than the confusion surrounding you, and you are more protected than you realize. Every time you almost gave up but didn't, that was divine intervention. Every time something fell apart that you desperately wanted, that was the universe saving you from future pain. What is coming next will not require you to beg, chase, or prove your worth. It will recognize you naturally. It will match your energy, and it will feel like peace, not chaos. Abundance is not just money. Abundance is clarity. Abundance is stability. Abundance is waking up without anxiety and going to sleep without regret. And this level of abundance is being activated in your life right now. But it requires one thing from you: faith. Even when you do not see the full picture, do not let temporary circumstances convince you that your future is limited. Your story is still being written, and the best chapters have not been revealed yet. Stay patient. Stay focused and stay open, because the moment you have been waiting for is closer than you think. And when it arrives, you will understand why everything happened the way it did. And this is where everything begins to shift, because the moment you decide not to quit, the universe decides to respond. You may not realize it yet, but the strength that carried you this far was never your own alone. It was guided, it was supported, and it was protected by forces you could not see. There were moments when you felt alone, moments when silence surrounded you and answers seemed far away. But even in those moments, you were being carried forward. Every setback shaped your character. Every disappointment refined your vision. And every delay trained your patience. You were learning how to stand firm without external validation, how to trust without visible proof, and how to move forward without guarantees. This phase of your life was not meant to be easy. It was meant to awaken you to your inner power. Now understand this clearly: the struggle you endured is directly connected to the level of blessing that is approaching. The greater the pressure, the greater the expansion, and you have expanded beyond who you once were. You're no longer the person who doubted their worth. You're no longer the person who accepted less out of fear of loss. You are stepping into a version of yourself that knows their value without needing permission. The universe responds to certainty, not desperation. And you are learning to stand in certainty, even when circumstances test you. Right now, things may still appear unfinished, unresolved, or unclear, but clarity is forming even when you cannot see it yet. Answers are moving toward you. Solutions are aligning, and support is being arranged in ways you did not expect. Your responsibility is to remain aligned with integrity. Do not lower your standards to be accepted. Do not dim your light to make others comfortable. And do not rush decisions just to escape discomfort. What is meant for you will arrive with ease, not force with confirmation, not confusion. You have spent enough time proving yourself now. It is time to receive without explanation. Let go of the belief that you must suffer to deserve success. That belief was never divine abundance flows where self-respect lives, and peace follows those who trust divine timing. Your mind may try to revisit past mistakes, but understand this growth requires reflection, not punishment. You are allowed to outgrow who you used to be. You are allowed to choose differently. Now you are allowed to build a future that feels aligned instead of familiar. What is unfolding next in your life will not resemble your past patterns because you have broken cycles without realizing it. The fact that you are still here, still seeking, still believing, even after everything is proof that you were meant to rise above what tried to defeat you. Momentum is building even if progress feels slow, energy is shifting, even if results are delayed. Remain consistent, remain grounded, and remain faithful. Because the moment you stop doubting yourself, everything else will begin to align effortlessly. Because now you are entering a phase where awareness replaces confusion and intention replaces fear. You are beginning to understand that not everything needed an explanation. Some experiences were meant to teach you internally rather than reward you. Externally, you are being trained to listen to your intuition instead of noise, to recognize truth without needing reassurance, and to move forward without approval. This inner shift is subtle yet powerful, and it marks the moment where your reality begins to change from the inside out. Many people wait for circumstances to change before they change themselves. But you chose growth even when outcomes were uncertain, and that choice altered your timeline permanently from this point forward. You will notice that certain situations no longer trigger you the way they once did. Certain people lose their influence over your emotions, and certain opportunities appear without struggle. This is not luck, this is alignment. You are no longer chasing validation. You are attracting experiences that reflect your self-respect. The universe responds when you stop asking why me and start saying prepare me, because preparation changes perspective and perspective changes destiny. What once felt like loss now reveals itself as liberation. What once felt like rejection now shows itself as redirection, and what once felt like waiting now proves to be divine timing, working in your favor. There is nothing wasted in your journey. Every step built resilience. Every delay strengthened discernment, and every challenge refined your character. You're not behind, you are becoming, and becoming takes time, especially when you are being shaped for something meaningful. The next chapter of your life will require courage, not because it will be difficult, but because it will demand that you believe in yourself more than ever. Before you will be asked to step into rooms you once felt unqualified for, to speak with confidence you once doubted, and to accept opportunities you once thought were meant for someone else when that moment arrives. Remember this message. Remember that you earned this, not through perfection, but through perseverance. The universe does not reward those who never fall. It supports those who rise consciously after falling. Trust will become your greatest currency, because trust opens doors. Effort alone cannot. And once you trust yourself, the right people will trust you too. What you are walking into now is stability built on clarity, not chaos. This season will teach you that peace is a sign of progress. Not boredom, and consistency is a form of self-respect. You are allowed to build slowly. You are allowed to protect your energy, and you are allowed to choose fulfillment over urgency. Nothing is missing. Everything is aligning. Continue forward with intention, because your presence alone now carries strength, wisdom, and quiet confidence. And with this deeper sense of calm, you start realizing that true power does not announce itself loudly. It moves quietly, confidently, and without urgency. You no longer feel the need to explain your choices to those who never understood your journey. Your silence now speaks maturity, and your boundaries reflect wisdom. This transformation did not happen overnight. It was built through repeated moments of choosing growth over reaction, patience over panic, and faith over fear. There were times when you wanted immediate answers, but instead, you were given endurance, because endurance shapes character in ways answers never can. Now, your vision is clearer, not because life became easier, but because you became stronger. You understand that control was never the goal. Alignment was. You stopped trying to force outcomes and started allowing space for things to unfold naturally. This shift alone has changed your energetic presence. People sense it, opportunities respond to it, and situations adjust around. Gate after gate has appeared in your life, not to block you, but to reveal whether you were ready to enter the next level. And every gate you thought was locked was actually waiting for you to recognize your own authority to open it. You once believed That permission had to come from outside, that validation was required before progress. But now you understand that readiness is internal, and entry begins the moment self-doubt ends. This realization shifts everything, because the moment you stop seeing obstacles as enemies, they become indicators guiding you toward refinement. Each gate tested something different: your patience, your discipline, your self-respect, your commitment to growth, and your willingness to walk alone when necessary. Many turned back at these gates, not because they were weak, but because they were not aligned. But you stayed, you waited, you learned, and you adapted, which is why you are still here. Reading this message right now, this gate represents transition, not into chaos, but into clarity, not into struggle, but into structure, and not into uncertainty, but into conscious choice. You are not crossing over as the same person who once feared loss. You're crossing over as someone who understands value, timing, and inner stability. What lies beyond this gate will demand responsibility, not sacrifice focus, not exhaustion and confidence, not aggression. You will no longer be rewarded for overextending yourself. You will be rewarded for being consistent, clear, and intentional. This new phase values depth over speed and wisdom over impulse. The universe is no longer rushing you because you are no longer running from yourself. You are walking with awareness, and awareness attracts the right outcomes without force. You may notice that things slow down before they expand, that silence appears before clarity, and that stillness arrives before movement. This is not stagnation, this is calibration. Your energy is being aligned with what can sustain you. Long-term temporary wins no longer satisfy your soul, because you are being prepared for lasting fulfillment. The gate you are approaching now does not open through struggle. It opens through self-trust. You must trust that you have learned enough, that you have healed enough, and that you are capable of handling what is next without losing yourself along the way. This is why distractions are falling away, connections are being re-evaluated, and priorities are shifting. You are no longer available for what drains you, because what awaits you requires presence, and presence demands boundaries. You are learning that saying no is an act of alignment, not rejection, and choosing yourself is an act of responsibility, not selfishness. Beyond this gate, the pace will feel different. The conversations will feel intentional, and the outcomes will feel earned without feeling heavy. This is how you know you are moving correctly. Effort will still exist, but resistance will not. Confusion will be replaced by direction, and anxiety will be replaced by grounded action. The universe responds quickly when clarity replaces desperation, and you are stepping into that clarity. Now remember, you are not late, you are not behind, and you are not unprepared. You are exactly where your growth meets opportunity, and that intersection is where meaningful progress begins. Stay aware, stay centered, and keep moving forward, because this gate does not lead backward. It leads into alignment, purpose, and stability built on everything you have already overcome. And as you move forward through this moment, you begin to sense a quiet certainty settling within you, a certainty that does not depend on outcomes, opinions, or external reassurance. It comes from knowing that you have already survived what once felt impossible, and that knowledge changes the way you walk into the future. You are no longer searching for signs everywhere, because you have become the sign yourself. Your presence carries intention, your decisions carry weight, and your silence carries. Understanding this stage of your journey is less about becoming more and more about removing what was never truly you, expectations imposed by others, fears inherited from past failures, and beliefs formed during moments of uncertainty. All of these are gently falling away, not through force, but through awareness. You are realizing that clarity does not arrive when everything is explained. It arrives when you stop resisting what you already know deep within. There is a rhythm returning to your life, a natural pace that allows you to think clearly, act deliberately, and rest without guilt. This rhythm is important, because what you are building now is meant to last. Not impress, not rush, and not exhaust. You have outgrown urgency. You have outgrown the need to prove yourself, and you have outgrown environments that require you to shrink to belong. The universe is responding to this evolution by adjusting what surrounds you. People who cannot meet you at this level will drift away without conflict, and opportunities aligned with your values will begin to surface without pressure. This is alignment in motion, subtle, steady, and undeniable. You may notice that your intuition speaks more clearly now, guiding you away from what looks good but feels wrong, and toward what feels right. even if it appears uncertain. This inner guidance has always been there, but now you trust it because experience has taught you the cost of ignoring it. Moving forward, your success will no longer be defined by how much you accomplish in a short time, but by how consistently you honor what matters to you. This shift protects your energy, sharpens your focus, and strengthens your resilience. You're learning that progress does not require constant motion. Sometimes it requires stillness, reflection, and recalibration. What lies ahead will invite you to step into responsibility without fear, leadership without ego, and confidence without arrogance. These qualities are forming within you naturally because you earned them. Through patience, self-awareness, and conscious choice, remember that growth does not always feel like expansion. Sometimes it feels like simplification, releasing complexity, choosing clarity, and embracing what truly supports you. The path ahead may not always be loud or dramatic, but it will be stable, intentional, and aligned with who you have become. Stay connected to this awareness because it is guiding you toward outcomes that do not just look successful, but feel fulfilling. And as you continue forward, trust that every step taken with honesty and presence is moving you closer to a life that reflects your true values rather than old expectations. And in this unfolding stage of your journey, something subtle yet powerful begins to take shape within you, a sense of self-direction that no longer seeks constant confirmation. You're learning to trust your own judgment because it has been refined by experience, not assumption. Every choice you have made, both right and wrong, contributed to this clarity, and instead of regret, you now carry understanding. This understanding allows you to respond rather than react, to pause rather than panic, and to choose with intention rather than fear. The noise that once distracted you no longer holds the same power because you have learned how to listen inwardly. The more you listen, the clearer the path becomes, and the less you feel the need to rush toward outcomes that are not aligned with your values. This phase is marked by discernment. You are able to recognize what supports your growth and what quietly undermines it, and this awareness naturally shapes your boundaries. You are not withdrawing from life, you are refining your engagement with it. Choosing quality over quantity, depth over appearance, and meaning over momentum. The universe honors this refinement by meeting you with opportunities that feel grounded rather than overwhelming, aligned. Rather than chaotic, you may notice that progress now feels steadier, even if it appears slower from the outside. But what is built at this pace lasts because it is supported by intention, not impulse. Your sense of identity is also evolving. You are no longer defined by past labels, previous limitations, or external expectations. You are defining yourself through conscious action, consistency, and integrity. This is a powerful shift because it places responsibility back into your hands, and responsibility is where true freedom begins. Moving forward, you will find that confidence emerges naturally, not from proving yourself, but from knowing yourself. Challenges may still arise, but they will no longer destabilize you the way they once did. Because you have developed internal steadiness, you understand now that obstacles are part of refinement, not punishment. And this perspective allows you to remain centered even when conditions are uncertain. The path ahead invites you to lead your life with awareness, patience, and respect for your own energy. You are being guided toward outcomes that align with who you are becoming, not who you were required to be in the past. Stay present, stay intentional, and continue moving forward with clarity. Because the foundation you're building now will support not just success, but long-term fulfillment and inner stability.